I'm Clay, and with me is Adam and Shelina. This is Talk About Scary. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, Clay?
It's good. It's good over here.
It's doing.
I'm doing good. I'm good.
Nice.
How you doing?
Doing well. I got a new glass here that Shelina bought me. I know you can't see it right now. You'll see it in the cut.
I'll see it.
It says "Creep It Real" on it, and it has eyeballs all over it. Pretty
That's
cool.
nice.
It's
I might
glass
steal
and a
it
glass
when
front.
you're not looking.
It's good. It's really good. I like it. And then Shelina
Just,
has her mug, which has disco balls and witches' hats all over it, which I think is really cool. We're trying to keep it festive.
I have
Okay,
a SeaWorld mug, and it has a Christmas tree on it because I got it when we were there around Christmas time a few years ago. And it's almost Christmas time. I actually, we broke our cardinal rule of decorating our house for Christmas before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because Thanksgiving's just so late this year, we didn't want to wait.
We're doing
the
it next
season.
week. Yep.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, I guess that's our intro, everyone. Welcome back to season 5. No, this is gonna be good. We've actually already shot a few episodes, as you guys obviously know, talking to the audience here. That will be coming out after this one. We just really wanted to have a I almost said threesome for the premiere. And have all of us on the show and talk about what we're doing as a channel, as a show, everything that we have going on. Adam has started a new series called The Gamer's Grind. I'm still working on The Casual Gamer. So we've got a lot of gaming stuff going on. I know that we have a lot of gaming fans in particular out there. Do you want to talk about that for a second, Adam? Or do you not care?
Yeah, I care. We have a lot of gaming fans, and Clay and I have been gamers our whole lives. I'm a console gamer mostly, more modern games. Clay likes to do the retro stuff. So we kind of decided to combine forces and actually film our idiotic asses playing video games, doing things like that and giving commentary. That's what I'm doing. Clay's giving more of a I don't know, a review, if you would, and I'm just playing games and screaming a lot. So if you like someone screaming and being an idiot and playing video games, come see me. If you want something that's informational, Clay's there for you. He can help you out. And Shelina doesn't play, well, she does play video games. She plays them very well. She was playing Black Ops 6 the other day, only killed one person, died 17 times. But
that's
she did
more
good
people
job.
than I've killed. I have yet to play that game. That's not my type of game. But I have a question for you real quick. What's your favorite console of all time? If you had to just pick one.
So this is a hot take. It's not going to be a popular one. But the Sega Genesis had the Aladdin game on it. And it also had the first Mortal Kombat game.
You're gonna say Genesis?
Yeah.
That's really funny because obviously you already mentioned it, but I'm a retro guy. I'm gonna say the Super Nintendo, but the Genesis is like my second or third favorite, and the Genesis and Super Nintendo were competitors, like going at each other.
Oh,
so
they were
from the
both
same
fantastic.
era, yeah, it's amazing.
I just didn't like the Mario games as much as the other games, and Disney has this Aladdin game that if you play it today, it still looks as good as it ever did.
I have it. It's upstairs. If we weren't recording this, or if I had my Genesis in my office, I would literally go grab the cartridge. It's upstairs. I might actually put an insert right here or send it to you since you're editing this, and you can put my Genesis cartridge of Aladdin right here. If you don't, my hands look stupid, but that's your decision. So, but,
we'll see what we're gonna do with that.
Well, I'm gonna interject and say, no, Shelina's got a favorite console.
Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear.
I'm going N64 because of GoldenEye.
Oh, GoldenEye was a
fantastic choice. And you know what? To be honest, as a gamer, I probably spent the most time playing the N64 because when that came out, I think I was like 11 or 12, and then I played the crap out of that console until 01 when I was 13, 14. But going back on it and like thinking about it, what were they thinking with the controller?
It was so uncomfortable.
It just never felt good in your hands.
Yeah, I think they just definitely wanted to veer off and say, oh, look, we can do something. Well, like GameCube, where you're just like, hello. Yeah, but I'm also going to give a shout out to The Sims. because I have wasted many an accumulated hour on that game. But I love it. I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop, which is why I can't play it anymore, because I won't stop.
Won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Maybe that's real life and we're living in a simulation.
It's possible. No, but that's
New episode.
That's
We're switching.
yeah, we're switching. This is all about the N64 and games and simulation. Not about what we're about to talk about. We've now had a really long intro, but I think it was necessary.
It was worth it.
Yeah, worth it.
Oh, by the way, she gave a shout out to us and talk about Scary in her last Halloween episode it was almost of the whole season. It was the second to last one. Her in your cultural discovery television show, you did the Copper Queen, the chef of the Copper Queen's potato Dijon soup, and she gave a shout out to us. Talk about Scary and some of the great stuff we're doing. So I'd just like to give a shout out to you and tell you, if you like shows that have recipes and someone cooking and someone making mistakes while they're cooking,
Or just eating.
I think, or just eating. That's me. I eat everything she cooks. It's a great show. I think you guys will love it. So if you haven't tuned into us for that yet, you're only here for us. Check out Cultural Discovery. We got a lot of great things going on. That's one of them as well.
Yep. No, the channel is expanding. We're doing a lot of really cool stuff. And
much like my waistline from eating all the food.
Expanding.
Mm-hmm.
But we've also seen, and then we'll actually jump into our topic for today, but we've also seen a lot of you really interested in the found footage work that we've been doing, such as the Last 5 Days series. So we do have definitely some more stuff planned for that. We haven't actually started anything, but we are looking into what we can do. New projects, maybe continuing that series. I know Adam it's probably a little bit premature to mention it, but he's going to be working on some shorts, and we just want to dive into what you all are responding to. And found footage has definitely been like really high up there. So we definitely see that, and we will cater to you. We just don't want to rush into something and make something bad.
We don't want to jump in and splash in and ruin anything for you. Speaking of, I do a lot of premature stuff in my shorts, but none of that.
I'm like, I left it right there for you, so you know, I'm glad you took it.
There you go. We don't be premature. Okay.
Anyway, this isn't going to be a super long episode. Everything I say just sounds dirty now. Super long. Like But I do want to talk about, or rather all of us are going to talk about, I really want to talk about the theory about this topic, but drum roll, please. Drum solo. Rudloe Manor. I actually wanted to cover Rudloe Manor last season when we came up with our list early in the season. It was one that I was really excited to talk about. They've talked about it on quite a few shows. I've obviously seen it on Ancient Aliens. You all know that I love that show. It's amazing. But it's just a really cool place. It was built a long time ago. We'll get into it. And it just has a really mysterious outlook on what's even really going on there. And no one's really ever come out and said. It's just a lot of cover up with military, and it's cool. So yeah, here we are now actually talking about it. It's happening. My dream is coming true. So if you guys want to dive right in.
Sploosh again. Yeah. I mean, we've denied you this topic so many times. He's like, hey, how about Rudloe Manor? We're like, next.
It's a little odd. Yeah, but I've done episodes.
Odd, but they are good.
Yes, I've done episodes like this in the past, though, where it's not so much the place or the topic that I find interesting. It's more the like theories, like I know it's everyone's favorite episode of all time, but the Phantom Time Hypothesis episode. I just like talking and throwing ideas at different people and hearing what they think, and then getting comments back from the viewers. So, Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. So the Phantom Time Hypothesis one, guys, I know you're not watching it. It's the best episode you're not watching. You should watch that episode. I know it doesn't get the biggest amount of steam. However, good effing episode, actually. It's not bad.
It's really just 30 minutes of me in a train wreck.
Yeah, it's
I
enjoyable.
can't
though.
get it together. Like
best episode you're not watching. Gotta watch that one.
It's
nice.
true.
It's way back in the Annals of Man. It's way back. You're gonna have
Like
to.
it was
you have to go through the
It was in
Rolodex.
season 3, so it's probably like 20, 25 episodes ago. But
Wow, it's a long time ago, guys. Enjoy the sound quality in those episodes. It's like we're talking in tin cans. It's nice. But yeah, let's dive right in. Let's dive right into this.
we're just bashing on ourselves. Go ahead. All ears.
I'm gonna start it off. So you wanted to do Rudloe Manor before. I said no effing way. It sounds boring. You do it by yourself. I don't want to do it. It doesn't sound good. I read the articles. We mulled over it again. Went to the gym today. We were driving in the car. Read the articles again. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna fare it out. I don't know how. And then I've been thinking about it a little bit more.
Okay.
And lots to talk about, actually. And I know you're going to get right into it, so I'm just going to go ahead and just jump right in and get your feet warm for you. I'm going to warm up those feet with some oils. I'm going to massage your feet.
Dip my toes.
Rudloe Manor, for the people who are not from the UK, a lot of the folks that listen to us are from the US, is the Area 51 of England. So there you go. And I don't know. There are, just like any military installation base, there's a lot of stories behind what they're hiding there, what they're doing there. And since it's a military base installation, it's by definition, it's secretive to the public. So
it's no longer active. So it was active starting in World War II to house, I think, communications and things like that. And then it was decommissioned, I think, in the early 2000s. And then we've got record of what they're doing starting in 2001, like National Archives were released. So, but even, I think that's the more interesting point, is since it was decommissioned but there's still fencing, there are still guards around it, there are still like dogs that help patrol with the guards. So like, what are we protecting?
Military shit.
Yeah, but like, if it closed down in the early 2000s or whatever, and they're still guarding it, like that's 20 to 24 years ago. What are they guarding? You know, what's there? Why can't they move or just completely close it down, demolish it? And then, you know, one of the things that we'll get into is during World War II, when this was being used as a air quotes here, base, they were working on building, and it might have even been before that. I might have not got my ducks in a row here, but they built a bunch of like underground tunnels and, you know, chambers, whatever you want to call them. But the idea was in case there was like a nuclear explosion, because during the war, you know, there was a lot of stuff going on, and it was just a safety precaution is what they claim. But it's like, it's a lot. I want to say I read, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'm wrong most of the time. I want to say though that it was able to not house, but like 4,000 people could like fit down there. Like, it's like big, long tunnels spreading across like acres, because the Rudloe Manor portion is just like one of the buildings on this like premises. There's like other parts to it. It was actually built in the 17th century, so it has a history. And then I
actually remember that being built.
You do,
which is crazy. I didn't think it was ever going to be finished. Actually, I was in elementary school still. Thank you. So that's that. But we were reading that it was actually underneath that they were quarrying bathstone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for Bath, the city. So that's how they started kind of like the tunneling system. But Clay, I think you're right, where, you know, it's like basically a whole city could fit in there. And so, you know, they've already got these built-in tunnels. Let's go ahead and put this, you know, it's very unassuming, because like the manor itself is small and quaint. So is like the surrounding area. So no one would assume, unassuming, that you would have all the tunnels and, you know, all the equipment and things that they had in there that they had to house and hide.
but
there.
it does have all that. And I think, you know, like over the years, employees, they had signed like non-disclosure agreements. They weren't allowed to talk about it and stuff like that for like X amount of years. And I know that some of them that worked for like the, I want to say that is, they're like military branches are different, but like the
Royal
Ministry
Air
of Defense or whatever. Someone or more than one person who worked for that branch has come out and said they had to like hush hush about like what was really going on there and making like really bold claims. And you know, of course anyone can make a bold claim, but it makes you think, like, how did they keep all these people quiet for so long? Well, my opinion is they were actually doing something like not wrong, but like much more intense than just digging for stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's,
you know what I mean?
There were, yeah, you know, they're saying that maybe that they have like ships, like recovered like spaceships that they brought underground.
Right.
I don't know exactly how that would work, but I mean, that's cool. I mean, we talk about it at Area 51 being in hangars, not under the ground. I can imagine a spaceship being in a hangar, but putting all that stuff under the ground and working on it, that's really cool to think about.
Well, it also makes you think a little bit like, why was it decommissioned? Why don't they use it anymore? Or are they still using it, but they like announce that they're not using it to like keep people off the trail? Because obviously things are different now than they were, you know, during World War II. You know, anything big happens in the world and it's all over social media within like an hour. You know, someone famous dies, TMZ's covering it like 2 minutes later. Like, it's like they're at the deathbed of, you know, the celebrity. And back then it would have been much easier to keep something like that hidden. So it just, if you've got all this stuff, why would you just kind of abandon it? And it just seems kind of fishy to me. That,
I just think it's kind of fishy that we're talking about this right now after the whole Diddy scandal. And I'm pretty sure they had Diddy parties there, and that's where they found all the baby oil.
Gosh.
That's it, yeah, because he needed that much square footage for the thousands of gallons of baby oil that they won't stop talking about.
He was trying to have a party with a slip and slide outside and didn't have any water. He's like, let's get baby oil.
Listen, I'm going to introduce something that may be, okay, spoiler, or if anyone remembers the meme or the little Vine or whatever, spoiler.
Fine.
That's as much as my English accent as you're getting today. But
spoiler.
Venom, the new Venom that we saw, again, spoiler. I'm actually like, this is not a joke. No JK, spoilers.
Spoilers.
The new Venom.
Look away.
Look away. The new Venom, where they're at Area 51, it's getting decommissioned.
Yep.
They actually have below a whole lab where they're
tunnels
like
and stuff,
analyzing the aliens. So I wonder if
they got that from that.
Yeah, it's kind of in plain, and I'm like, oh, maybe
I could see it.
Maybe.
I mean,
yeah,
it seems like something out of a movie, which is why it's fascinating to me. Is there's just a lot of questions, not a whole lot of answers. And I mean, if they really do have aircraft down there or specimen, you know, whatever the aliens that were driving this, it could be a tractor for all we know. We don't know that it's a UFO or a saucer. We have no idea. But these creatures, whatever you want to call them, if they're down there like that sounds like something straight out of a movie. And it also kind of seems like, that typically the UK is, I'm not trying to say they're like a better country than us. It's, whatever. No competition here.
Well, they talk funny and they don't have any seasoning in their food. So I'm going to go ahead and say they're probably not.
Yeah, right. But it's not the point I'm trying to make is like they just seem to do, like, America is almost kind of like, just, we joke about everything, especially now. Like, everyone gets offended by everything, and the UK just kind of seems to be much more serious, and how they like do things and present themselves is like they're very like proud. Someone from the UK is probably going to be like, what are you talking about? But I don't know, that's just how they come off. I've not been there, but you know what I mean? Like, America is just, I don't know.
My experience with the culture is, they're not very outspoken. So if they're frustrated with something, you're getting a strongly worded letter. sent snail mail. This is not in an email. We are getting a stamp and an envelope, and hope you enjoy that. So yeah, I think, there also isn't necessarily outwardly a country outcry to have a giant military protection. However individuals in that country feel, but they don't need this base. So I think it makes sense that they would let it go. I'm kind of surprised that they wouldn't use it something for like more of a historical significance. Like the tours, like we were talking about the catacombs however long ago, but like, because there is historical value in being able to see, like, this is what we had to do to survive in the war. Like, we've got in America all of our Civil War fields that are fields, right. And there's like a statue, which I have been to many, and I enjoy visiting a historical memorial. But yeah, it's surprising that if this is such a large complex, if there's so much territory that it has, why isn't a part of it at least made into like a museum or something that you can visit? And maybe it is, and I'm just not aware.
Can you imagine, like, if just Gettysburg or Pearl Harbor were just off limits? Hey, you can't go near that. There's cameras all around the battlefield and all around, the ship, and just you can't go near this. It's off limits. It happened, 60 plus years ago, but it's off limits. And then it just seems kind of odd. But then also, I have a hard time understanding why employees would come out and say things so many years after allegedly seeing the craft being taken down and all the stuff they were working on and scientists doing all this stuff. Like, it's gonna ruin any credibility. And yeah, like, a lot of them are older because it was, such a long time ago, but what they're not gonna gain anything by lying about what was really going on there if what they're coming out and saying is true. It just seems, again, fishy. I don't know what else to how else to word it.
Now, your boy went there, didn't he? Giorgio, whatever his name is.
He did.
Giorgio from Ancient Aliens. Giorgio.
Yeah,
Tsoukalos, is that his name? Papadopoulos?
Yeah, aliens.
Aliens.
Tsoukalos. Giorgio Tsoukalos. My boy, my son.
He went there. Did they turn him away? Or did he get to go in and poke around?
No. Cops showed up and were like, "What are you doing?" and made him stop filming because they were trying to get the whole thing on camera, and they could see that, like, there was active cameras, like, on the outside because it's all fenced off.
He went to a military base without permission with cameras, and they kicked him off. That doesn't sound right at all, does it? Does that happen?
Right, but I sense the sarcasm. But it hasn't been a military base since the early 2000s.
It's a decommissioned. It's still a military base. Just because it's decommissioned doesn't mean it's not a military base. Still is. Still, they've decommissioned whatever its function was, but there's still people patrolling it. If there's fences up and there's guys with M16s or whatever rifles they use over there, do they use...
Couldn't I just argue and say that means that it's cover-up? That they are purposefully hiding things? Oh no,
the military.
This is still a military base, but
we're still hiding things. Whether or not they're hiding aliens is the question. That's the thing, right? I mean, what if they are reverse engineering spacecraft, or maybe they're not? Maybe there's just secret tech down there that they don't want everybody else knowing about. Maybe there's other types of cover-ups that they're covering up besides aliens.
And yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be aliens. That's just what employees have come out and said. But it's more about, why was it decommissioned? Why are they covering something up? I mean, you would think, and I think differently than some people. So I want to hear your opinion. That's why we're doing this. Is you would think.
He's never asked my opinion before.
Well, you're about to give it to me.
I was going to say, think that
if it was just a military base, no one would care about it. Like, I feel like they're drawing attention by decommissioning. No one sees anyone go in or out. They've got cameras, guard, fences up. Why didn't they just leave it a base and just not say anything to anybody? Because it's literally like they're drawing attention. So I want to hear, what do you think?
Well, I think just like with Area 51, everybody going to it and wanting to see what's out there, and the crazy conspiracy theories and stories that have come from that area and about that area, I think it just becomes tedious and it becomes a matter of national security. So, like, I'm sorry, but if Giorgio Papadopoulos decided to go to Luke Air Force Base here with his cameras unannounced and just walk up there, he'd have M16s pointed at his face immediately. They're not hiding anything. It's a boring-ass military installation. It's an Air Force base, just like the Royal Air Force Base there. So I don't think that that's the point. I think the point is that he wanted to see aliens. He thought it'd be sensational. He went out there and they're like, "Nah, jackass, you got to go. This is a military base. We don't care if we're not using it any longer. We're still patrolling this. Get the F out. You needed to call the manager on duty, the Ministry of Defense, MOD, and whoever, and get permission to do those things." And I don't think he sought the right permission, which there's a lot of red tape. It makes for great television. I'm not saying there's not a bunch of little green men down there all rotten or all freeze dried, or vacuum sealed somewhere. I'm not saying that. Yeah, it could be, but there are a lot more nefarious things that militaries have done in the past that they would like to keep hidden from the public for as long as they possibly can. And a lot of that, some of the stuff they're hiding could just be documents and piles of documents about all the crap that they've done. So it could be other things besides that they just can't. There could be stuff that has a top secret security clearance they're not allowed to divulge anything about.
And you make a very good point, because I mean, I feel kind of silly because I'm like, America can hide this in here and here. England is a finite amount of space. It is an island, if you were unaware, anyone.
Yeah.
It's a finite amount of space. So maybe, that is a place where not all of their country has this security, or maybe they're dedicating, that's what I mean. Maybe they're dedicating it to this area because of all of the tunneling system. They already know which doors to locks and whatever else. So maybe, instead of, having the landmass of America where we can kind of just put anything wherever and no one really questions it, they put it in this very specific space.
Well, what if it's a small area? They can't just move things out. It's not like they're in the middle of the Nevada desert and no one can see anything. And there's a lot of places in America that are just uninhabited. You don't realize that. There's a lot of our country that no one lives in. And that's where military installations usually are. You can't just transfer one thing to the other thing under the darkness of night, under the cover of night, in trucks and be okay with it. And people are like, and here in America, for instance, we dedicate so much of our funding to national defense. So much of it. People don't realize how we are the only people that are second to us as far as military strength and how much they spend are the Russians. And they're very close behind us. That's how much money we don't spend on the welfare of our people and just spend on military. And so we can do a lot of stuff here. We have a lot of space. And people, we every day, I see Black Hawk helicopters overhead on the res, flying by. Don't think anything of it. They could be transporting all sorts of shit. We see all sorts of military vehicles. But wouldn't you think
something of it if the bases around here hadn't been operating, or they had been decommissioned? Like you talked about Luke Air Force Base.
Well, yeah, I guess they would a little bit.
Do you think they've got underground chambers? And what if no one was going there for the past 20 years? Don't you think it would be treated a little bit differently?
I suppose so. I mean, people are still probably going in and out of a decommissioned Air Force base every day just because they're not because they're not using it for active military doesn't mean they're not using it again for storage. Maybe they can't move. Maybe they can't move the things out that are in there. Maybe they're just too tight. Maybe they're having a hard time relocating these things. I'm not saying that they're not a country with vast resources. I'm just saying maybe they can't.
No, I get that, and that's what I believe is whatever is down there, they either can't move or it's radioactive, so it would actually hurt people to move it or whatever. It just, again, I'm beating dead horses with sticks, but it just seems like they drew attention to themselves by decommissioning it. Because, like you said, if you go to Luke Air Force Base and have cameras and all this stuff, and they're going to point guns at you, what's the difference if it's decommissioned or not? Why bother? Why? I mean, the second you label something haunted, people are like, oh yeah, this is haunted, there's ghosts.
Oh,
just
absolutely.
a regular house, if you don't call it haunted, it's just a regular house. Well, same thing. Anything military based that all of a sudden is changed or cut off or looks abandoned, I mean, it just makes people question, well, what's going on? The likelihood is there is nothing there, but the Brits are usually,
and we don't know either,
handling things differently than us. Yeah, we don't know.
I have ideas about extraterrestrials. I try not to get into it too much, but like, as far as we're concerned, if you take just our galaxy alone and how many stars we have in our galaxy, right? Which is unfathomable to think there's that many stars in our galaxy, and how many planets around those stars, then how many civilizations can be around those on those planets, and then you start to get a number in your head, and then when you think about the rest of the cosmos, you're like, oh my God, just the observable universe, like, oh my God, it's
crazy.
Infinite possibility, which means they're absolutely out there. The thing is that what makes us think that they came here? And I mean, if we're looking, when we look in the universe, we look back in time, right? So any civilization that's looking at us, that's far away, is looking at us, either we didn't exist yet or we're cavemen. So what would make them want to come here to do anything with us? You know what I mean? Like, if they were looking at us the same way we look at things, through the scope of how fast light can travel and the distance, I mean, God, like, it just seems improbable that aliens have landed here. I know that we had all those Senate hearings here in the U.S. talking about all of this unidentified aircraft and things of that nature, but none of that said that there were aliens. We didn't have definitive proof that there were aliens. One guy said he had some sort of alien biologicals. What he said, like, a biological is not of this earth or something like that. He looked really serious about it, but no one's provided any evidence that it actually exists, except for people talking about it. So I don't know. Now, the governments are really great at hiding things from people. I mean, the Catholic Church hid the ability to read, hid knowledge from people by just not encouraging people to read for hundreds of years. Right? I mean, think about that. Like, they're really good at keeping us stupid. I have a whole conspiracy theory about the American education system and how they intentionally keep us stupid and hold us down so we can continue to be consumers and can have our thumbs be held down by the thumb of an oppressor. I actually believe
that's not a theory. That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that 100%. So I have no doubt that they're hiding something amazing. Do you know what I mean? Whether or not it's alien spacecraft is debatable.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got two reasons though that the aliens might go to England. Both happen to be food related. One is the pasty.
Pasty.
Sticky toffee pudding.
Ooh, I'm a fish and chips guy. 100.
So I'm just saying, those are two things that are decadent and amazing. Some of my favorite items from the England. But yeah.
Yeah. They might go there for the food.
Is delicious.
It's amazing.
And if we ever think, oh, they're coming here to use our resources, what if they wanted water? Why wouldn't they have gone to Europa? The gravity's much less. It'd be much easier than flying here. And it's got a lot more water. If they wanted iron, they could mine asteroids.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't want to get into a full-blown conversation about aliens because I'm sure we would end up talking for a really long time. So maybe for another episode. But when it comes to aliens, I think the thing that's interesting to think about, because you kind of touched on it a little bit, like, why would they come here? What resources would they need? If they looked back, what would they see? I think the answer to all of those questions is the same thing, is they would have to have some form of technology that is just, we are not going to comprehend for like hundreds, if not thousands of years. Because yes, if they just wanted water, they could just go somewhere else. But what if the technology that they had made it, I want water, so you walk to your fridge and get water. Like them stopping here is like nothing. Like it's not out of their way at all. You know, a lot of people think with aliens, it could be more like interdimensional beings, like slipping through different like dimensions. So they could even like occupy the same space, or, you know, be as close as living on the moon. We just don't see them, and they don't really see us, but they've figured out how to like slip into our dimension, so it wouldn't be a big deal to
like
just
slip it in.
I'm just full of them today.
Slip it in.
But that's the thing is,
speaking
why would
about
they come
that too,
here?
what is it with our buttholes? Why do they what do they want with our buttholes? Why do they want to probe us so much? I don't think they're probing us. I think that's not happening. I don't think that anybody's messing with our buttholes. I don't think anybody's coming down, getting us in a beam, tractor beaming us up, and messing with our buttholes either. I don't think that's happening.
So I'm going to bring it back to
think that's
something
Hollywood.
that Clay said earlier about, oh gosh, now I lost and forgot the point.
It's okay. While you're forgetting, check out my mug.
Okay.
Visit SeaWorld. I like whales. They have souls.
They have souls. Maybe it is haunted because there's ghosts of whales swimming in the water. So that's good. Whale ghosts.
Whale ghosts. Hopefully my diversion has let Shelina remember what she was going to say. Because I have nothing. I'm done. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh, gosh.
What were you going to say?
I felt like it was important, and clearly it wasn't.
I said it. It probably wasn't.
Stepping all over your words. I'm stepping on your words again. I stepped all over her line.
Yay! So it was about why would people say that they had seen something while they were working there, and maybe it's because they know that no one will believe them, because they feel like
it's possible.
They need someone to tell, and they're like, you know what, I'm just going to say this because no one's going to believe me anyways, because I'm not a scientist. I was just, you know, someone who worked here. Versus,
well, and they could be trying to get their minute of fame too. Like
that too. Yeah.
Either they're lying or, you know,
feeling some sort of importance in the world.
Yeah. I just feel like typically when you get to be older or further in life, which like I'm not there yet, so I could be completely wrong. But
you can ask Adam though.
Oh, yeah, Adam, a lot of that going on today, huh?
Adam, you're real old, so you can answer this. But
jeez, guys, jeez. You know what?
I don't think eventually I would waste my time lying about stuff when I'm old. Like, to the public.
I think I'm gonna.
Maybe I'd tell like tall tales.
I'm gonna start doing that probably in
something.
About 10 years from now. I'm gonna start doing it. I'm gonna start.
You're just gonna go up to random people and go on TV shows and be like, yeah.
You don't lie to your kids for fun? You don't lie to your kids for fun?
I do, but that's the difference. Is those
There's no difference.
Those are my kids, not like.
It's a grander scale.
Not like the media or like. You know, and I don't lie to them about the like really important stuff that I do. I lie to them like, oh, we're out of cookies. Because I don't want them to have a cookie.
I would just make up stories like we were driving by the Mayo Clinic by our house one time. Tristan was 12. He goes, what is that place? I said, that's the place that invents all the different flavors of mayonnaise. The flavors of mayonnaise. He believed me until he was almost 18 years old, told one of his friends that, and they accused him of being an idiot. And that's why you lie to your kids, my friends. It's because that is funny. That was a joke that spanned 5 years, and I never broke that. I never broke character with that lie. I kept it.
Think of all the Mayo scientists working on those.
I know, it's crazy. And he found out the hard way. And it was when he finally came back to me, he was so pissed. I just started. It was the funniest joke, and it took 5 years to come. 5 years to come to fruition.
5 years to come?
And that's why, that's right, I had to slide that joke in too like a gentleman. That's why you lie to your kids. That's why you lie to your kids. It's important to lie to your kids.
So
don't just stop with Santa.
From this episode is the UK is full of liars, lie to your kids, and the Mayo Clinic makes mayonnaise.
Oi! Yeah, I think that...
yeah, put that in the show notes. That's the clip notes.
Mayo Clinics make mayonnaise. Yeah, I think
Mayo
there's something
Clinic's gonna like
there's something
like, we don't do
that. Stop perpetuating the lies.
It is. Now the ancient alien guys, Giorgio Papadopoulos, is going to go to the Mayo Clinic and like, get out. So guys like say Papadopoulos.
I have noticed they do have a lot of new like mayonnaise flavors where it's like pre-mixed. So maybe you're not wrong.
Heinz has a mustard flavor that's dill pickle mustard, and
I bought a dill pickle ketchup, and it's pretty good. I'm not even making that up.
It's good. The best thing that you've ever had. If you're listening to us, guys, and we're looking for sponsors,
you're still here.
We would like Heinz. We would like a sponsorship. I know this is not a food channel. Shelina has one. We'd like you to consider that, but we could use it for this too. I would talk about your product every day. I love it. I would eat it plain. I put it on ice cream. I have spoonfuls of it sometimes. It's delicious. Running out all the time. You're just not doing it enough. You need to make more.
All of the listeners now have left because they heard that spoonful thing.
So, you haven't tried it? Don't even get me started. All right.
With
I do believe something's afoot in this place, though. I do believe something's afoot in this place. I just don't know if it's aliens.
No,
I mean, if the ancient alien
that's
guy
just one thing. It could be a lot of different things.
If he came, I'm not convinced at all anymore, because everything for him is an ancient alien hypothesis. I think he's a genius for selling that lie to everybody. I don't believe there's any such thing as ancient aliens. I don't believe that ancient alien hypothesis is garbage. If you're going to ask me how they build the pyramids, it's the simplest structure to build. When you're a child, you build a pyramid for the very first time. They stack cans in pyramids at grocery stores. It is the easiest thing to build, and it's the easiest thing to figure out as far as stability goes.
But the cans don't weigh 20 tons.
Yeah, but we have some theories on how they move those, and they have pictures on how they moved them, so it's not like it was that far-fetched. But anyway, that's another subject. We could have a whole show just based on that garbage.
Yeah.
That's our next show, guys, Ancient Aliens. We're going to talk about it next.
No, probably not, but maybe one day. It is fascinating stuff to just talk about.
Yeah, it is. This is a fascinating subject, though. I'm glad you brought it to light. I didn't want to talk about it ever. You mentioned it. In conversation, our daily conversations, he must have glanced over this so many times, and I just flat out ignored it.
What are we talking about?
And I would just talk about something I'm driving by on the road for windshield time, or I would just change the subject. So I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we scratched your back on this one. So,
scratching my own back.
Yeah. You scratch your back, you rub our fronts. That's how it works.
That's right, I guess.
This is we're saying dirty jokes.
It's an Adam and Clay thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Before I
they've seen all of our hotel specials. It's fine. They know we're all sleeping in the same bed. It's fine. But yeah, it's great. It was a great tidbit. I like it. I like what you did.
It was fun. It was a good discussion. I like these episodes where we just talk about things and I mean, don't get me wrong, the fact ones and where there's like murders and all that stuff is fun too, but we don't do this a whole lot, and I think that it's fun to just roll out opinions and play off of how we all think about different random places, ideas, whatever it might be. So yeah, Rudloe Manor, let us know in the comments if you think they got aliens down there, or what you think.
In the comments, while you're doing that, if you have another
pickle mustard.
There you go, pickle mustard. If in the comments too, if you find something else you'd like us to talk about, and to stammer over each other's words and be jackasses about, let us know, because we want to know what you want. We're here for you. We are here for you. And since I'm on the subject, don't forget, since Clay didn't say this in the beginning, and he wants to start saying it in the beginning of the episode, but he never does, don't forget to like and subscribe to this. We want you to like it. We want you to subscribe. We want you to share it with your friends and family and your friends. We want you to talk about it. We want you to share it on social media. We want you to do all that stuff so we can keep bringing you this less than quality but almost good content. We hope you appreciate what we're doing for you.
Sometimes we get
we
up
appreciate
there.
You.
Sometimes it is good.
Sometimes I can get it up, man. Sometimes we can get it way up.
Sometimes it's pickle ketchup.
Sometimes.
But
it is, yeah. But yeah, it's...
I'll get better at doing that. You'll notice as more episodes come out, we're trying to switch things up this season. We don't want to completely reformat the show, but we want to do some longer episodes, some shorter episodes, and you'll just see some different things coming. So
yeah,
we hope you guys
all gonna be
liked
fun.
it.
It's all be good in the neighborhood.
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, to be precise.
That's right. Yeah, thanks. What else do you have to say, Clay? Don't you have to tell them to do something?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's something. It starts with a C.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if we were done. Are we done?
Done. I think we're
Get
done.
out of here, everyone. Creep it real.
See you later. We're done. Hour episode's long enough. Creep it real. Creep it real. See that? That's creep it real. That's the cup she got me. It says creep it real on it. You don't have that cup? I have that cup.
I'm giving them the peace sign as it fades.